Everyone. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm calling to order the meeting of the Patent Free Library Board of Trustees on Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. Seeing that we have a quorum, we can proceed with our agenda. First thing is the Secretary's report. It consists of the minutes of the May 12th meeting. Are there any comments, edits, changes? Peggy?
Unfortunately, I can't be in two places at one time. And I noticed that I was at the meeting and not at the meeting. So, whoops.
Yeah, absent
I
and
was
there.
absent.
Schrodinger's.
Okay, well, that should be corrected, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Is Jack, is this your last?
So I'm gonna,
Oh, okay, yeah, he's not use that.
are there any other changes, suggestions, comments? No? Is there a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Now, okay. Regarding adjustments to the agenda, we have one adjustment. We will move up the development report to earlier in the agenda if necessary, since Samantha's time this evening is limited and she can only be around until about 5:15. This will give us a chance to talk more about, in particular, the development plan for the upcoming. That's it. Comments? As you can see, this is typical. We have a very full agenda, including an executive session tonight. I did a couple random comments, often to recognize great work of people in the library and on the board and on committees. I'm happy to report that the Building Advisory Committee now has, if you will, is fully staffed or has a very fulsome group of people. We'll talk more about that when we come up to that, but that's great. I wanted to say kudos to the Friends for the book sale. It was very successful in the amount raised, and it certainly seemed very well organized. They moved a lot of books in and they moved a lot of books out when it was over. And so it was, everybody pitched in. That was great. We'll hear some more details about the raffle, but I can say from reading, I can see it was a big success in lots of ways. So kudos to Eileen, Samantha, and everyone all the volunteers who worked on it. I also want to thank Allison Kepler, who, as you know, has now resigned from the board. But she did great service, very helpful to the board in many ways, not only as an engaged member, but providing the insights from both her role as a legislator and being on the Woolwich Select Board. I'm glad to note that we will have the benefit of her knowledge and support. She said she will sign up for the Policy and Personnel Committee. Is that correct?
Yeah, she's already come.
All right, great. That being said, with that change, we will need a new board secretary. We have a little bit of a hiatus since we won't be meeting typically in July and August, but we will have to do that. It's up to the board to select a new one.
Do we have a replacement for Jack too? Do we have?
I'm coming to that right now. Yeah. So, and I also wanted to recognize and express appreciation to Jack Underwood. This is his last meeting to serve as recording secretary. I think he did great work. Keeping up with the discussion back and forth and miscellaneous comments during board meetings to create a coherent record we can rely on for future reference. So Jack, thank you very much for your service. Thank you. And while it'll be difficult to replace you in many ways, Jack, we do need to have a new recording secretary. I think I think Allison had, before she resigned, sent out something to the staff asking if there are volunteers. Not volunteers, but people willing to do it. It is a paid position, of course. Thinking that having someone from the staff, whether a volunteer or on the staff, be good because they know the library working really well. So as of yet, right now, I'm not aware of anyone who's stepped forward. Okay. With that. Okay. Right. Why don't we move on then to the librarian's report?
Okay, great.
So I think I'll first we have Mary here, Mary Randall, who I'd like to talk about, give you all a sort of a taste of what our summer reading is going to look like. It's a busy, crazy time, a wonderful time for the library, and Mary with, all things children, but this is also summer reading for all ages. So Mary is going to give us a taste and a highlight of summer reading. So I'm going to share the screen. She's got a slideshow.
Whoa.
I know, isn't that wonderful? Slideshow, just a quick one, I promise.
Gotta see which screen.
Browser tabs.
Excuse me?
Oh.
Not sure. I think it's through the.
Yeah, plant a seed, read.
There we go.
There it is.
Whoa.
That's me.
Yay.
Again, presenter. There
Thank
you go.
Oh, look, and this works to click. All right,
It
we'll find out.
does.
We'll all find out together how I do.
I tested it.
Okay, I'm gonna just sort of stand in the corner just because I'm used to standing when I give this presentation. I also do it for children, so if it seems a little, I don't know. We'll see. Usually K through second grade. So this year's theme is plant a seed, read. It is a really fun theme, I think, for this area. So we're gonna have a lot of really sort of appropriately themed programs. I told you.
Okay.
All right. Well, so the program runs from June 22nd until August 15th. June 22nd is a Monday. You can begin to register. Thank you. You can begin to register on June 22nd, that Monday. And then the 26th, there will be a party. Some have offered to maybe volunteer if the scheduling works out, to help set up for that party. It's usually, last year, I think we had around 300 people come to the event. One of the great things about summer reading is it is our biggest program that we run. It is 8 weeks long. Last year we had almost 500 people participate throughout the summer. So you can imagine that it was quite a busy time for us in the children's department and in the circulation and reference department. All the departments were sort of full tilt. So we have if you were here last year, which almost all of you were, we have a bingo sheet and reading tickets that will be given out to everyone who registers. This is where I ask, raise your hand if you've ever played bingo. Yeah, amazing. Isn't that so funny? Because it's a bingo sheet this year, so you all know how to play already. So when you register for summer reading, you get your bingo sheet, you get your reading tickets, which I will explain in a moment, and you get a free book of your choosing. We've purchased quite a few books for the kids to pick out, and for the adults to pick out. Each of you, when you sign up, are also able to grab a free book to keep for the rest of your lives. The kids always ooh and ah at that part. So this is what our bingo sheet looks like. It is for all ages. As you can see, is it a point? Oh, okay.
Can I interrupt for a sec? Those of us on Zoom, we are not able to see the screen.
So I will describe it with my words.
Thank you.
Screen sharing, interesting. I don't know why you're not seeing it.
Yeah, click on share.
I did.
A little.
Show that you're on the right.
It just says that you are screen sharing, but it didn't actually share for some reason, which is really, I've actually never seen that before, so.
Can you see it now?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would
Sorry
have
about that. I'm
Rebecca,
glad
I absolutely would have just described the whole thing.
Well, it was worth the wait because it's really cute.
So, as you can see, our bingo sheet is there to increase literacy. It's in there to engage with the community, and there are a lot of really fun things for us to do all summer long, right? So it's draw your dream garden. One of mine favorite is do a cliche Maine summer activity. One of the kids we asked, what's a cliche Maine summer activity? Go on a boat. That was one. Go to the YMCA was another, which is so sweet. So cute. Go canoeing, go hiking. All of you, I'm sure, have some lovely cliche main summer activities in mind. So there's a lot of really fun ways.
Not going forward.
Once more, I just nod. That's okay.
Okay, try it again.
Oh, that's the end of the slideshow.
Go back. Okay.
Woo boy. All right. It's okay. So the other way that we play, a lot of adults really like this way, was the reading ticket. You read for an hour, you get a reading ticket, and it is unlimited. With those reading tickets, you can enter into the raffle wall. So I don't know if any of you were in the library last summer. I'm sure all of you were. You saw that sort of exorbitant reading wall raffle prize Hannah put together. I mean, I think she went a little crazy. There's quite a bit. We have a lot this year. We're really trying to bulk up the adult participation as well. So we have had some lovely local businesses help sponsor some of the prizes. For example, Springer Jewelers was like the nicest people, two $250 gift certificates. So, I mean, I if you don't all participate, I don't even know. So that's going to be, I mean, it's going to be just so fun. It's as much or as little as you want to participate, but it would be lovely to see you guys all participate. You register online, it's super simple, and then you get your bingo sheet, you get your reading tickets. All of you can participate. This is sort of the jargon for who can participate. It's pretty standard. It's what we've done for a while now. Anyone of any age who lives in our service areas, has a library card, RSU1 school, all of that good stuff. And then registration, this is for the kiddos and for you guys. You get a free book. A classic bingo gets you a little plant kit surprise. We have a little bag full of many goodies, little plants for everyone to get, a bookstore coupon. There are temporary tattoos for those of you who are interested, if any of you want. And then the blackout. You will keep your bingo sheet all summer long, do the whole blackout. And you get a farmer's market tote bag. It's very cute, and entry into a raffle that's even bigger than the ones I've been talking about. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be amazing. These are some of the events, just the children's events. This was for the children after all, but we'll be having Sparks. Okay, raise your hand if you like wild animals. Crazy, because we'll have wild animals at the library. Raise your hands if you like free ice cream. So we're gonna have free ice cream at the kickoff event. Raise your hand if you think that dirt would make a good cake. No, right? No. However, what if I told you it was crushed up Oreos?
Oh, yeah.
And then suddenly all the kids go, wait, what? So we'll have a lot of really fun programs, all of the usual weekly programs that we run. We're gonna be doing Dungeons and Dragons. So if any of you have kiddos who like to imagine they can defeat big monsters, this is the perfect game. And that's really it. I will say this is the part where the kids will usually tell me things instead of asking me questions, which is the cutest thing you've ever seen. I will say, in preparation for the summer reading game, I mean, anything you can imagine. We book all the programming, we create the bingo sheet, the reading tickets. I think I'm going up on 12 school visits at this point, going to every single school that I can, Diagonal, Fisher Mitchell, Georgetown, thank you, Woolwich Central, and there's one other, West Bath, thank you. So been to them all. Busy. We hope that you guys will sign up. I think it'd be really lovely to have all of the board just sign up, get your bingo sheet, and go canoeing. Cross out that square. That's all I have. If any of you have any questions, comments, compliments, I'll take them all.
Can I just say, last year I did it, and I'd never done an audio book, and that was one of the squares I needed to do.
See, you're like,
So that's the kind of thing that happens when you do it. So it really is fun.
Cindy?
An audio book. I'd never done an
Audio. I thought you said an Oreo.
which,
Even better.
That was an
Mention
Oreo.
Oreo.
She's thinking.
It's amazing. It's really is fun. You see kids.
yes,
You
I'm doing
on the
Oreo.
floor.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. The kids have a really good time, and I hope that you can all participate. But also, if you ever have any questions, anything like that, feel free to just stop by the children's department. I'm happy to answer them for you.
You said we could sign up online for
I
this?
just did it. I mean, all right.
Some ground nosing going on.
I mean, thank you. Yeah, so June 22nd is when you can start getting this stuff, but you can sign up now if you'd like. It's just when you come in to get the materials starting June 22nd. And we'll do more, you can register all summer long, so. Thank you so much. Like I said, any questions, comments, anything like that, please let me know. I do have to disappear now, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary. One thing I'll add to Mary's presentation is she's talked about, summer reading for all ages. So this summer, Elizabeth has put together a wonderful themed series around Moby Dick, which I am absolutely thrilled because I've always wanted to read Moby Dick. So I'm in the process of reading it right now. If you want to talk just briefly, I'm putting you on the spot as far as what's going on with Moby Dick, but it's all tied into our summer reading for adults. So
Yep,
it away.
it's the book group, the afternoon book group chose to read Moby Dick, to dive in, and we will be reading it. We'll have the regular sessions in the week, the last Wednesday of the month. We're planning 2 special lectures. One has been set up, and that's Susan Beagle. We'll be talking about the real Ahab's wife. And the other one's yet to be announced, but the focus is going to be on the environmental reading of Moby Dick. What's different about it this year is that instead of me leading or facilitating the discussions, everybody on the reference staff is going to take a turn and do a different aspect of Moby Dick with the readers. And then the grand finale is going to be a chowder cook-off. So if you've read Moby Dick, you spend at least several pages on chowder.
And is it underway already, Elizabeth, or it's about to start? Or?
My plan is to have all the information out tomorrow.
Oh, so if we're not behind if we.
No.
Long book.
Well, you might.
It's a long
If you haven't read it.
book.
No, just kidding.
I haven't. Decades ago, so I read it.
Yeah.
But
I'm reading it
it's-
now because you get a different whole perspective. I'm started it. It takes a long time because there's so much to digest.
And our book group, typically we pair a work of fiction and nonfiction. Moby Dick is so enormous that we're going to have a list of suggested readings, and we're going to highlight certain topics. But it's a bibliography that is multi-paged already, so it's a lightning rod, I think.
Sounds
Moby Dick.
wonderful.
People either really love it or not. So, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's really exciting as well. And then the only other thing I just want to mention, a couple things, but I know it's under old business or new business special town meetings, so I might hold my comments about what we're doing to later on. But I wanted to just, Carl had mentioned, we do have a building advisory committee in place now for our next work on the reimagined spaces, which is the schematic work. So the building committee, they are the volunteers from the trustees, which is John and Michael. And then we have Elizabeth and I from staff. And then we have Rebecca is our campaign component. And then we have 2 community members, Carolyn Lockwood and Terry Gray. And Terry's wife, Sally, is a corporator. Carolyn's a corporator. Both have construction experience. Terry owned a concrete business, and Terry was also our owner's rep for our 2018 renovation project on the first floor of the teen space in the reference area. So we're really excited about that. We have our kickoff meeting towards the end of June. I don't remember the exact date, maybe the 26th, I think. So we are getting started. So really exciting, and we'll give you updates as we have them.
Great. Good group. I think let's move on still and do the capital campaign update, and then after that we'll go to development.
Good.
Is that okay, Samantha? Or you got a minute? Awesome. Okay, I see thumbs up.
I've
Thank
got
you
20
all.
minutes.
Okay, great. Well, you've got an in-depth quarterly report on the campaign, but in brief, I can share that since the last quarterly report in May, we have raised, and I had the number on the paper says 507, but we did just get a $25,000 gift today, so I'll use those updated figures. $532,000 has come in this quarter, including 12 lead gifts of $5,000 and above. Our fundraising total is $3.73 million. And we've got almost $500,000 in outstanding asks, people considering what they will give who've been asked for significant lead gifts as well. So things are going really well. We know there's a bit of a lull during the summer, but we have a plan for that. We're going to be thinking really carefully about the public phase in the future, what kind of events we might want to do, what communications plan might make sense, and sort of firm that up in the downtime. So the other thing I wanted to share is that you're all invited to our campaign stewardship event, which is on Monday, the 29th of June at 5:30 in the reading room. We're calling it the Turning on the AC Party. So come cool down with us, and all our donors have been invited, and it's a great way to say thanks and reflect on how far we've come in about 2.5 years, and think a little bit more about what's coming down the pike, and share some updates with that community. So I hope you'll all join. It would be great to have a really full room. It's going to be really low key and a quick event. So if you can make it, please RSVP.
Are there questions for the, oh, go ahead, Rebecca.
I was just going to ask, any questions?
And this reminds me, I got some emails from you this week, but not the board packet, and not if there was an invitation to this. So to be continued. So when is this again? 29th?
June 29th,
Would have
yeah.
been sent in the mail, the snail mail.
Chris, I'll send it to your not city government email. How's that?
We gotta figure this out, because half of it,
Yeah, the board packet I sent out the notice last Thursday. So we're
Right.
still like.
Yeah, I got it. I actually got it.
Was it hard?
It's something in
but is
the
that
mail.
sent from some sort of special thing?
It's just sent from my Gmail.
Well, your library mail.
Yeah, my library mail, but I don't know
When
if
we did
this-
that testing, it all worked, but now apparently it's intermittent. Anyway, sorry, I just
Okay.
wanted to.
Check
What
your
time?
spam folder maybe, because if it had a big
I've-
visual attachment, it
I've-
might have gotten collected in there.
5:30, right? 5:30 on the 29th?
5:30.
They don't accept my emails either.
Rebecca,
Yeah.
Peggy? Yeah.
could you just say what the event is again? I missed some of it. I know it's at 5:30, and is it announcing something, or?
It's an event to thank our donors and celebrate our success, thinking about the completion of the first phase, our energy improvements, and the fact that this will be the first summer that's fully air conditioned. So I think it's worth celebrating with some cool treats and cool beverages together.
Okay, thanks.
I could add, unless something's happened in the meantime, that we did have a meeting recently with Bath Iron Works. We could say that we did, and with their entire charitable or philanthropic committee, or at least a number of people. So we have our fingers crossed, et cetera, that this will come through. And it was productive. There were some good questions, and we did a walkthrough afterwards too.
Excellent.
So the public phase was going to come a little bit later, but because of our interactions with John Fitzgerald, we sort of moved up Bath Iron Works because he's on the committee and was able to facilitate that. So we thought we'd take advantage of it.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, but we'll see what when we get our, so, but it's good to have that one.
Fingers crossed, everyone.
Okay.
All right, well, I will bow out then. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Bye-bye.
Hi.
Bye.
Okay. Let's move on then to development report.
I am just going to give you a brief overview as I usually do, and then we are going to take a vote on the development plan that we've presented at the last meeting that hopefully everyone has had time to review and digest. And Samantha is here and for just a few more minutes to answer questions if you have any on the development plan. The annual fund as of today is $149,644, plus we have $2,050 in open pledges. That brings, if all open pledges come in, $151,694 total. So just shy of our goal, which is one of the reasons why we're doing the phone-a-thon on Monday, the 15th, this coming Monday. and so far only myself and Leah have said they're coming to the phone-a-thon. So hopefully more of you are planning on being there and just haven't let us know yet. But Samantha needs to know by the end of the day tomorrow who will be joining so she can put the call packets together. She has scripts, info sheets, pledge forms, everything is done for you. You just have to show up, and Lee and I are gonna bring some stuff to share, drink, food, and anybody else can as well. If you're coming to the phone-a-thon, please bring something to share. We can make it kind of social and fun. 31 of the people that will be phoned on Monday are donors who gave last year, but not yet this fiscal year. 11 of them gave to the capital campaign, but not the annual fund. 13 of them are corporators who did not give last year or this year, and some that have not given in several years. Side note to that is that in total there are 25 corporators who have not yet given to the annual fund this year that are on the phone-a-thon list. Total giving for the donors who did give last year but not yet this year is $17,000. So if we could scoop up some of that giving, we would be we would reach our goal and then some. So please let me and or Samantha, both of us, know if you can be there Monday. So it's not just me and Leah hanging out. Although that would be fun.
Sorry, the time. And the time again?
Just after closing, so like 5:15.
Okay.
Samantha's thinking it would take no longer than an hour, I think is what you were thinking for in terms of time.
Yeah, depending on how many volunteers we have. If there's only 2, there's no way we'll make the 44 calls, so we'll have to limit the list. But the more we have, the faster it goes.
We're using our own phones.
No, I think we're gonna use
Okay.
Library?
Yeah, library phones, you don't need to use it.
Okay, because I don't think, well, people don't always pick up.
Yeah, so
No, and unfortunately, the library phone still says public service, so there's a high likelihood that will deter people, but who knows?
better than unknown caller.
Yeah, exactly.
Bam.
If they City of Bath does not, we're working on the on the other, but it's not.
So then beyond that, does anyone have any questions about the development plan for the coming year? Peggy?
I unfortunately missed the discussion last month, but I noticed in the plan there's quite a bit of mention of last year, but not this year. So I was just wondering, in general, do a lot of donors, I mean, how is donor retention, I guess? How would you characterize?
Our donor retention rate is 85%, which is about 40% above the average. We do a really great job at that. The reason it's focused on last year but not this year donors is because once they become a lapsed donor, it drops down to the potential to give is down to like 5% potential. There's very unlikely once you lose a donor that you're going to be able to get them back. And so we really want to focus on keeping our donors and not losing any. We're losing a bunch this year, actually. So I am quite concerned. And that's why I want next year's focus to be on those Libunts.
You think you're losing them because of the capital campaign or no?
No, I think the economic, we have 11 that we've lost because of the capital campaign, but there's 110 Libunts who haven't given yet this year. And I just think that's the economy and, probably we need more stewardship. There's a lot of nonprofits out there asking for money, and the ones that will get the donations are the ones that don't treat the donor like an ATM. So if we focus on thanking them, inviting them to parties, all those stewardship things, we're more likely to keep them.
I wanted to say I like the point being made here of sort of some prepackaged or boilerplate stuff that then in stewardship that we can all use. It'll make it a lot easier as a starting point. It also makes it more easier, makes us more comfortable, I think, in reaching out. And of course, the benefit of having a uniform message or consistent message. So that's great. Kudos for putting that in. It really could.
Any other questions, concerns? Hopes, dreams, aspirations? Okay, so.
I like the fact that you're going to start working on the monthly donations rather than, that's a good way to do it.
That's a great way to.
Yeah.
Retain donors.
And that may be what we should focus on when we're doing the calls and stuff. Patron.
those of you who contribute to main public probably know that's their stress too when they do funded. I always talk about the Evergreen program.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what they really put out front.
Mm-hmm.
So
It makes a lot of sense, it does, yeah.
tried and true.
Yeah, it's great because every month we get money, so when you do it that way, it's not just, a little in the fall and a little in the spring, it spreads it all out, which is nice. But it also, a lot of people set it and forget it. And so they'll just give for for years on that. And every once in a while I do, actually every year I reach out and say, thanks, here's how much you've given if you want to increase. And some will. So.
Yeah.
So we want to, is there a motion to?
Yes. Move to approve.
All right, there's a motion. Is it seconded?
Second.
Over here, all in favor of approving the 26-27 development plan as proposed? Raise. Okay, looks like it's unanimous. Great.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Samantha. Thank
Bye,
you.
Samantha.
Get ready to get to work.
Okay. Let's move on to the consent agenda. Something. Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Chris,
Second.
Suki, okay, all in favor, approved. Move on to the consent agenda. Go back. Starting with the monthly report from the staff. Any questions, comments? No. Oh,
I just,
Peggy?
I think it was in Elizabeth's, you talked about staffing issues. And I appreciated hearing that. And I think in the future, it sounds like we're going to have to look at this issue. I know we have constraints, but yeah, I appreciated your comments in that section.
Things change over time, we get busier, we need to make sure that we're meeting the demand.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll just add that'll be really relevant when we get into the first floor renovation, because that's going to definitely be for staffing. So we're thinking about that already, what that might look like, and talking to staff.
Okay. I had just one question. I saw it from the attachments to the staff report. I guess it's probably not impossible to know the source, but this false rumor of the library suing, which I know I saw it in some.
I thought of that. I think it's because, and Tommy might probably speak as well. My thought was because the select board had sought legal counsel after the town meeting, and at a select board meeting, I think David King had said that it was the recommendation of their legal counsel that they consider having a special town meeting, holding it so in case of potential lawsuits. So somebody, I believe, took that and made some inference which was not there.
That's definitely what he said.
That's what he said.
He failed to say who might have a claim.
Yeah.
Who might have standing to file a lawsuit, and
people.
That would be a Woolwich resident would. That's it, not the library.
Yeah.
So I think somebody took that and made some sort of.
Right.
Okay.
But that's
where
typical.
I'm fairly certain that's where that case.
Typical of the library trolls on that Facebook group. It's just full of stuff like that.
I guess, and I don't know if we'll have, when we have a chance, I mean, we've done it already, but we should use every appropriate opportunity to champ that down and say we didn't know.
I know that on the Woolwich Facebook page, there have been people that have responded to say that we are not suing.
Yeah, okay. Well, if it comes up in the, what we're doing with Q&A too. Yeah,
Right.
okay. Is there anything else regarding the monthly staff reports? Building and technology? I know You have the report, but John, do I understand you wanted to give an update as well, or is that? Oh, okay. Okay, I thought I was told that was some time for that, but whatever. Are there any comments or questions about that? Yes.
So is Karen leaving the committee? Karen Robbins?
This is the end of this month.
Yes.
She's done a lot. She really has.
In that regard, we had actually invited her to come tonight because we prepared a letter on behalf of the board and a certificate of appreciation.
She doesn't want to.
But she didn't. We're hoping to ambush her if she comes to the HVAC meeting, which I hope she does because she should be there.
Yeah.
But in any event, there'll be some formal recognition of her. And so I think we all really appreciate Karen's good work in on the committee, leading it, and especially with, the reimagined spaces in phase 1 of the capital campaign. So the work's been invaluable. She's got a really good group of people working with her. Predominantly John there, who's done a lot too. So we wouldn't be where we were on phase 1, certainly without the good work of all the background and research work that the committee did, sorting out what type of system to use, and then shepherding it through the various stages, working well with Leslie too, and all of that. So it's really great. It's a really great accomplishment.
We never misses book group, so if you wanna catch
I
it.
know, I'm looking at the Zoom meeting for the next, that's our last building and tech meeting, right, the 26th?
Yes, that's correct.
Tell me.
I had a question about the technology plan. It looks like there was a plan to have a 10-minute update to the board tonight. Is
That's
that-
what I-
It's under,
Okay.
it's under old business.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking
Elizabeth
of.
is going to be.
That's what I was thinking.
Good.
Finance. Report.
More on that when we get to the McDonald's stuff, right?
Yes, and there's one other item too to bring up then when it comes to, it'll be under new business too. Any other questions? Friends report. Governance, we got something out late, right, Leah, to everybody?
Yeah, it was really.
Yeah, but that's,
But it-
did get something.
But it's still working on the charters.
Okay,
It's taking a lot longer, obviously, than expected, but it's a lot of wordsmithing and trying to coordinate the commonality of the committees and so.
Yeah.
Coming together.
policy and personnel. Saw the section on the exit interviews, so that probably should. Do I understand it right? Is work ongoing to consider changes, revisions to that policy?
Yes, so some of that, we ran a little over on, I think we're gonna be doing, we don't meet this summer. So, but I think there's gonna be ongoing communication with some important changes.
Okay,
I think the goal is, because that's part of the personnel policies, to go to the staff.
Could you speak a little louder, Leah?
That's all part of the personnel policies, and there've been a lot of changes in the policies with the consultant. And the goal had been to have had something to come to the trustees, maybe even to, by now, but that wasn't gonna happen, so.
okay,
Hopefully September, we'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna mention about the ombudsperson, because we spent some time talking on that.
Mhm.
Also, there was a result that was from the committee, that did not come out. I don't think there was a way to attach that easily, but going with the wording, there's a lot of unawareness on the part of the staff that this policy's as it exists. We're looking at changing the wording, because that's Appendix A, the personnel policies, so we made some initial stab at that, but what really came back was that the staff is unaware of how to even reach the ombudsperson, and the position, the 3-year position, and it's passed. So that process needs to be, it's a staff-driven process. So that's been turned back to the staff and that will, I think there just needs to be connection to know that that's happening.
Yeah. It's always been a staff-driven process, hasn't it?
Yes.
So if people looking for information or trying to educate themselves, that should be an intra-staff discussion, we think. Because we are to keep a distance from all that.
We don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay.
Yeah, so there is currently an ombudsman, but staff don't know.
Technically, there is not one because that re-election process should have happened in 2023 and it did not. So it was a lapsed communication issue. So it's now it's up. I think behooves our committee and I think staff awareness, to make it happen.
Anything else? Move on to the treasurer's report. Or, I'm sorry, we went through finance, right? There were nothing. Okay. Treasurer's report, Anthony.
All right, I'll start with the value of the endowment as of yesterday, 6/8/2026. It is $9,603,191.16. Yeah, I mean, these days it's all over the place.
Right.
But that's good though. Everything's tracking pretty much on target, I would say. I don't think we have anything notable to mention. Everything's looking as it should or has already been, we've already talked about. Does anybody have any questions regarding anything? We have a couple of things that we'll get to later on.
Yeah.
They're on the agenda.
Yep. Okay. Anything new about the town area school activities? Anything that or what's coming up?
So I know there are a couple of town meetings coming up. Arousik is coming up on Thursday, and Georgetown is coming up on Saturday. I did have just a question. As far as like attendance at town meetings, I talked with Suki and Eileen about whether my presence was important or whether I should come to because I've not normally attended, for example, Arousik at all because there's never been a discussion very supportive of the library. And so I had a discussion to see whether it was important that I attend. And I wanted to find out a little bit about Georgetown. That's another one that I don't normally attend. I did attend the budget hearing. And so I guess I wanted to just ask what the board's feeling, especially Peggy, should I attend on Saturday morning? Is really my question.
Yeah.
And we can talk after, but I do need to know it's coming up and I'm trying to be sensitive, but also available and, so I do have that question. So that was just, but more than anything, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that those town meetings were coming
up.
One thing I can announce is that in Woolwich, they've chosen the date for the annual Community Day.
Oh, well, which days? Yes, what is that date?
The 8th of August, Saturday.
Perfect.
10.
Is it at the same location?
Same deal as last year.
Great.
Are you gonna win it?
Mary and I had a blast.
August 8th?
August 8th.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not sorry, Mary, that wasn't Mary. Mary and I were at the Fun Frolic.
Yeah.
That was when we were doing temporary tattoos on a gentleman's bald head. So that
It's gonna
was,
happen again this year, I think.
yes, so I will get the data. We had a lot of fun and Elizabeth and I went to and Lori Martin was also there with us and Allison makes lean hamburger. So I really, it was great. Okay, so I'm sorry, Tommy, tell me one more time again. It's August 8th.
August 8th.
Do you know the time?
11 to 2.
11 to 2. We will be there. Thank you.
What about Arousik? What do you think, Suki, about?
There's no, I think I thought that it it would raise eyebrows when they didn't need to be raised. I mean, you've got Woolwich
Okay.
out there, so I think we just knew we have for years, we haven't had any questions. and
Okay.
I'll be there, so we
Okay,
can always address it.
no, it's fair, it's a good question though, I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
This year.
Yeah, we haven't had questions in Georgetown, so,
So that's why I don't know, so.
yeah, so again, never, I just hold my breath and from Pat and nothing, so that's sort of my sense too, but I'll think about it.
Yeah, let me know, and because I'm on vacation next week and I leave from my cottage on Saturday, so that will affect when I leave. So, but I'm happy to attend the meeting, so I've got it on my calendar for right now. So let me know, thank you.
We're talking about more opportunities for outreach, but I know the sensitive nature about budget asks, so it's not maybe that way, but I guess I do view it as potentially a face and a name, and it's, so I would just throw that side out, but then I know there are other opportunities like Woolwich Days, but
Use things like that, I think that makes more sense. I mean,
For a social
we have
gathering or-
like that, we'll do something in the fall.
Mhm.
We just had a yard sale.
like West
The
Bath
Recreation
Historical
Committee,
Society is doing our annual meeting, and Elizabeth's gonna come, so there'll be an opportunity just for people to
Well,
mingle.
that's visibility right there,
Yes,
that's perfect,
so
yeah.
I think where every time we have anything,
Yeah.
even if it's little, it's just, we don't have a West Bath. I do.
Okay.
And I'm bringing pie, which she usually says.
Goodwill.
It's the library,
PFL.
obviously a library tactic. Your summer reading program. Well, we should move on then to old business. Update about the warming and cooling center.
Yeah, so Judy Metcalf has done a little bit more research and given us her opinion, and I was hoping that Michael could speak to it a little bit. So Michael, if I can turn that over to you, he's gonna talk about her final response. But I will say basically the response was when I did hear back from Phil Davis from Schema, and he said that their legal counsel is not going to remove the indemnity part of Article 6, I think, of the MOU. So then I asked Judy for a response, and then I shared that with the executive committee, and Michael being a retired attorney. So if you could share that information, that'd be great.
Sure. So Judy wrote her opinion and indicated that she would not recommend to the board that we move ahead with the warming center. And everyone agrees that while it would be wonderful and it would increase our visibility and the perception of the library in the community, there's still some risk. And the schema pointed out that they felt that there was enough in the statute, immunity statute for municipalities to be able to protect the library. However, we're not a municipal organization. So the statute really doesn't afford us any protection from liability. And despite the even with an indemnification, that doesn't mean that we don't have liability, and your indemnification is only as good as the agency that's providing the ability to do the indemnification and what their insurance policies would say. So the fact is that if you'll recall, our insurance indicated to Leslie that, well, there would be coverage, but they also were relying on the fact that they believed we were a municipal organization. So all in all, I had suggested initially that we go back to the insurance company and say, well, will you agree to insure us despite the absence of that the ability of the statute to cover us? And so it's come back. The answer is no, that we're not going to be able to do that. So aside. So I looked at all of this. I looked at Judy's opinion, and I tend to agree with everything that she is saying at this point. And while it's up to the board, there still is the possibility of exposure, and then whatever the cost is to the library for running the warming center. So I would agree with Judy in her recommendation that we don't move forward on this.
Thank you.
Any questions or discussion? John?
Michael, perhaps you could help me understand a little bit. Could you perhaps explain in your or in Judy's view, in what way would the risk or the liability that the library was taking on be different than the risk or liability we have with every ordinary patron that walks in the door?
Well, the idea is that they're not an ordinary patron, the people that would be coming in. Perhaps if they were coming during regular business hours, or this is a separate and individual prospective plaintiff, and I don't think it's within the scope of what the insurance company would cover. Does that answer your question?
What's hard too, though, is you have a patron that comes in, they might have heard about it on Schema, but what if they read a paper when they come in? How do you know then what their intent was for coming? They come in and sit down and grab a magazine. Are they then a patron?
And we're not being asked to extend our hours.
No, we're not extending our hours or doing anything. It's just strictly during operating.
I'm trying to understand how this person that's coming in for a cooling center is different from a person that's coming in to read a magazine.
Well, I think what you get down to is, do you want to even get involved in that determination and pay a deductible on your insurance policy, move forward to have to let's say that happens, and let's say the insurance company comes in and says, well, this person was not a covered risk under our policy. Do we want to have to be in a position where we have to sue our insurance company to be able to get that covered? Pay outside counsel, do all of that. And I think that's the issue. Is this an insured risk? Is this person within the scope of what the insurance company was looking at when they issued the policy? As a litigator in my prior life, I see that as an issue. It's just the potential for a legal expense.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Anything else? We wanted, and is there a motion to take a vote on this issue? Yes, we do.
What are we voting on?
Well, whether,
Pursue it.
I guess, yeah.
well, I mean, whether we want to pursuing having a library as a warming and cooling center. I mean, you're saying that's not within our purview?
No, I just wanted to clarify what we're voting on.
Yeah, well, that's what I think is whether, based on the recommendation, based on what we've heard, whether we want to make the library available as a warming and cooling center.
I would just make the motion that a motion to accept council's decision to not become a warming center.
I'll second.
Seconded by Ashland. Okay, third that. Okay, all in favor of accepting council's recommendation? Unanimous? Okay.
And warming or cooling.
Cooling.
Right, warming or cooling, it's the same.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The tech plan update?
Let's do this again. Let me make sure, Elizabeth, and I'm sharing the right thing. This one, but then I color it. Mary, you can tell.
Get Oreos.
Should have stolen for graphics.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like that. It's all within the same browser, that's why.
It's a different vibe for sure.
We make this a full screen. I was just gonna make it full present mode. Why isn't it doing that? Oh well, we'll go for it, fine.
Okay, so this is the in-process update for the board. The last update was in February when John gave it, and I'm just picking up where he dropped off.
That goes forward. Yep.
But before I begin, I want to talk about the guiding principle that kind of rose to the surface during this process. That is what we keep in mind, what we think about when we're putting this plan together. And I actually stole this from John. He did a really nice job on his section of the report. And we're going to keep that front and center, the library's values. The values are all familiar to you. We live them every day. The values don't change. Technology does. We need to be able to respond in a way that incorporates the values, lives the values. You have to keep responding to technology to fulfill our mission. So if you can just kind of keep that in your mind as we go through. This is the timeline. This is where John had shared this in February. In February, we were there. Today, we are here. At the very beginning of time for this plan, it was the proposal in March 2025 to the board. This is the result. It is an action step of the technology plan, the strategic plan that is wrapping up this year. So we're within that time frame. This technology plan will cover for the next 3 to 5 years, and we will build on that. But I just wanted to remind you that this is where we began. The board gave its approval. I want to thank you for that support for us to embark on this, and also to thank Leslie, because there's been a lot of staff time invested to date. So in February we were there, we are here now. I'll be talking about this middle part, what happened there. The most important thing that happened, John talked about the visioning. We had the big picture, the community, and we brought that back and we synthesized a lot of those results. And we had a literal pile of papers that John, Karen, Dean, and I worked on to pull what we needed from. At that point, we expanded the subcommittee, and this was a key part. And I have to say, I was resistant at that point. We had gone big, we went small, now we were going big again. But it absolutely was the right thing to do, to expand the subcommittee to do the work on the plan. The expanded subcommittee, we have just about equal representation, community members, trustee and board committee representatives, and then staff representatives. So that's a good mix there. It's a nice equal mix of people in the room looking at this mountain of data that we had. Our task was to meet every other week to identify, research, report on planned topics, and then to create research documents that we'll be using to put into the plan. So that's right where we are today. We have a working vision statement, which I won't read to you. I do have copies of the slides, though. I'll put it in the packet so you can read it. The words and ideas that are in bold are what were gleaned from that mountain of data in the community visioning. So they kept repeating. So we wanted to get them in the vision statement. And we wanted to use some strategic pillars, which also came from the community visioning. Guided experience, borderless library, an inclusive design, and also the legacy and future of the library. So for those of you who participated in that visioning, these might be some of your words. You probably recognize them, or a big part of the discussion. So this vision statement will be the preface to the plan. And it may look like that, it may look a little, but we feel like that captures the community input. Then we identified the expanded subcommittee, really got to work and identified the topic research areas that are going to be reflected in the plan. Here, I've just listed them in alphabetical order because I could think of no other more original way to do it. But we'll see as we get writing the plan, they'll probably end up in different places. We have one of the topics, the big topic is accessibility. And we've talked about this as a group, our digital presence, the standards from the Title II ADA compliance. And I think I have shared that that deadline has been extended by a year. So we have enough, which works perfectly.
Good.
And the physical space for accessibility, currently we don't have an adoptive station or assistive equipment, and we really should actually in each of our service areas of the library. And then a component of staff training ongoing, which kind of threads throughout many of the topics. So what we did was we split up the subcommittee and we, the little small mini teams worked on this, presented to the larger, we workshopped it, and we came up with documents that are ready to be worked into the plan. Another one was the annual review process. How are we going to, make sure that we're staying on track with the plan? And Karen, Irene, and Julie Carlson came up with a plan for ongoing monitoring and annual review. A big chestnut, I guess, is artificial intelligence, which if we wanted, we could just have a plan on artificial intelligence. There is so much there. John, Chris, and Jack worked on that. There were many components. I distilled it down for today on ethical use, responsible and responsive patron use, and staff empowerment. But that's going to be a big topic for libraries, for anybody really in the information industry.
What do you mean by staff empowerment?
Staff empowerment essentially means training, but training in enough training and enough knowledge that they're competent to respond. We anticipate that patrons will come in with questions on artificial intelligence. Part of that guided library experience is the trust that people have in libraries. Artificial intelligence raises a lot of questions of, how do I know this is true? Who should I believe? And we've been doing that for a long time. We've been in the authority business. So I really think, but we want to make sure that we can answer those sorts of questions. The Blue Spruce assessment, John did talk about this. This was the assessment by a third-party vendor to come in and assess our technology. And they have a list of recommendations for us that are going to make their way into the plan. Digital safety and security. Leslie Dean, MSLN is the main school and library network. They're the people that provide us with the internet. And there will be a focus on the safeguards that we have in place, safeguards that we may want to put in place, backing up data, and essentially best practices. Inventory closely related to that. That is an inventory. This one will probably be an appendix within the plan, but we will talk about our plan to purchase inventory, and that includes everything: hardware, software, digital tools that we use. Partnerships. This is an important one, especially when it comes to looking for outside grants. Who do we want to work with? What a big part of our mission in technology is to kind of close the digital divide, and the best way to do that is to work with existing people out in the community that are committed to the same. So Julie Casson, who is from Coastal Maine Regional Broadband, and they've been a great partner over the years for us. They've given us grants, they've done programs here. She's been very helpful. that. Policies, there is a place for policies. Almost every topic will have one, if not more, policies connected with it. So we'll be working closely with the Policy and Personnel Committee to work in many of the recommendations in Blue Spruce will be reflected in our policy. So there's, what is this? Plenty of work for everyone. Trainings and trends. This is primarily a staff-led group. Leslie, of course, too, but Laurel, Jack, and I are working on staff training modules, individualized plans, schedules. There is an immediate budgeting and staffing impact with that, as we were talking earlier about staffing model, that we don't really have an existing formal training program. And we should. The recommendation from this plan on technology matters absolutely. You need time to learn about what's coming down and how we respond. The next steps, which will bring us to the end of that timeline, are to synthesize and incorporate the research documents into a draft plan. That's going to be my summer, what I did on my summer vacation. I'll report on that, but they all look different. They look very different. Some are very visual, some are very specific, and somehow get that into one document. So that's what I will be doing. I'm going to sequester myself up in Leslie's office. I just need a fresh supply of beer and quills. The scriptorium, well, that's what I'm going to be doing. So we'll be adding the additional documentation. That's going to be ongoing. This will be a living document, particularly for people like you that are on the board, that we will have a live version of this with live links. So if there's anything that it may come up in policy and personnel, it may come up in building and technology, you can refer to the plan. And if you need to do more research, you'll have the links there to do it. And then the goal is to have a draft of the tech plan for the corporator meeting in October of 2026 for both board and corporator comment. We'd like to also share it with the community, but we haven't really fleshed that out yet, what that's going to look like. But it would be really nice to bring back the visioning folks to come back and see what we did with the information that they gave us. Yeah. And the goal is to have a final draft to the board to be voted on in November, the November meeting. And some of the considerations that we all need to keep in mind, those of us working on the plan in particular, we want to somehow capture all of the ideas. They are not all going to make it into the plan, but the Visioning Center and the entire process have generated a lot of ideas. So we're going to create something that I'm calling the Visioning Index, but it may not be that, but so that we don't lose those. And if we ever need to refer to those, we have them. We don't lose them. And we want to establish a responsible working committee that serves in some capacity of oversight, but just again, when we expanded the subcommittee, and the entire process has taught us the value of not trying to do it all ourselves, but looking without and asking people to help. And that will keep the plan alive, I think. That's the update. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, of course.
Yeah. Amazing.
Very impressive work.
Yeah.
It's been a great process.
And I also really want to thank Elizabeth, was sort of involved from day one. So thank you for all of it. I mean, you really have all the visioning, everything. You put so much of your time into this. And again, as Elizabeth said, over the summer with some beer in my office, we'll be, working on taking again synthesizing all of this. And So it is a lot of work.
That's a lot.
I'm still trying to imagine doing tech plan and Moby Dick at the same time.
It's gonna be so.
Yeah.
For the other.
That's good, that's great, thank you.
Yeah, wow, that's impressive. A lot of-
Let's move on to new business and the issue of the phase one construction loan pay down. Just to see what the finance committee recommended. And I wonder if Anthony and or Tommy they're able to answer any questions you may have. You understand the rationale for doing it. And I know Anthony was particularly, I would say gung ho, but a strong supporter of paying it down. So maybe if you could reiterate the main points, Anthony.
Yeah, so we are at the point now where what's left on now I'm going to start this by saying we will need an exact payoff from the bank. So the figures that we're using will not be to the penny, but it'll be close. So there is some interest that will have been accrued but not accounted for. So the exact payoff will not be exactly what we have right now because I don't have a payoff in front of me. We probably should have done that. But anyway, so the principal balance right now is $293,262.70. The payoff, I would guess, would probably be somewhere around $295,000, but that's just a pure guess, somewhere around there. We have cash on hand in the capital campaign of, I think it's just over $1 million or just under $1 million. Anyway, you're gonna do math? Let's see. It's just over $1 million in cash on hand right now. So the recommendation is to pay off the construction loan and then be done with that. That also saves us some interest. We had budgeted to continue paying interest, so we wouldn't have to do that anymore. It also would sort of close out that loan, if you will, in this fiscal year, and then we wouldn't go into the next fiscal year with the loan. So just kind of makes it clean, kind of cleans it up a little bit. So that is our recommendation in a nutshell.
Suki?
Are we not robbing Peter to pay Paul? By
No.
taking it away from the capital campaign?
It is it's Peter's for Paul.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we took out the loan to be paid by the capital campaign.
Okay, right, okay.
Yeah.
Basically to front the money so
Yeah.
that we didn't have to raise it
Yeah.
first.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, so in fact, it should really be
Thank
paid
you.
as quickly as possible, in my opinion.
You don't accrue the fees, yeah. right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yep, it served its purpose nicely, and now it's time to pay it off.
So we can save 2 years-ish of.
Yeah, and we're averaging about $1,500 a month in interest fees, so it will, sooner we can pay that off. the better.
$1,500.
Right, and as Anthony said, we have almost $1 million in cash. We've raised the money to pay for it. So
And I will say, we have already paid it off a bit quicker than we had planned for. We knew we probably could do that, but we planned for in case we couldn't do that.
Okay.
So it's nice to be able to save some of that interest that we don't have to pay.
And am I right that there's no prepayment penalty?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, I think I asked Julie that about 6,000 times. And I saw it in the documents that we signed. There is absolutely no prepayment penalty. In fact, they want us to pay it off also.
Really?
Well, yeah, they want us to be successful. Yeah.
I think, that's fine. Don't get it another way.
Okay. Then, is there a motion to pay off the?
I see one over here.
Yeah.
Peggy? One second,
I'll second.
Eileen. All in favor in proceeding to pay off the BSI construction loan
Before the end of June.
before the end of June?
Tomorrow.
I'll contact the bank tomorrow.
Ready, you're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll call them.
Okay. It's a real milestone. Besides having the actual equipment, having the completed work and
Yeah.
also paid for it. That's
That
great.
was good too.
All right. The other, continuing on financially related stuff, McDonald Trust Investment Strategy. Saw some of the comments from the Finance Committee about this. These suggestions that for the mix between fixed income and equity amounts. And what the Finance Committee recommended. Are there questions about that, which I think, again, Tommy or Anthony can answer? Suki?
I tend to think that a 60-40 is more usual. Is there a reason I know Sean recommended that, but is there an underlying reason that we need to know about? Was it just to get
Income,
that's the main thing?
you can only use the income from the investment every
Right.
year. So there's some advantage in terms of having more income by having more fixed income investments. And it's enough, I think Sean believed that 30% equities was enough to really kind of ensure that it would still continue to grow.
Longevity, yeah, that's the piece that you worry about, yeah.
So that's,
And we did have a discussion about that in the Finance Committee, because I was more for the 60-40 also. And then we did discuss it and Sean's recommendation, and we went with the 70-30, and we can change it.
I was just gonna say.
So it's not that, it's like,
Yeah.
that's it for.
yeah, we can change it next month. It's not, it's the
Yeah.
kind of thing that's not.
You could.
Because I mean, the market's gonna change, so you might want to rethink it as you're going forward.
Yeah, this will be something that we periodically will meet with Sean and talk about it and see what's going on. This isn't something that we're just gonna set and then turn around and walk off. This certainly will be something we may in the future look to change the strategy. We may not, but it's going to be a conversation with Sean ongoing. It may be a couple times a year, could be quarterly. It really depends on what's going on, but there will be more relationship with this for sure.
And the fees involved in them doing it for us, right?
It's hard to hear.
Fees involved from fast savings too.
There are, but they are discounting it. So
Are they?
it is,
Oh,
so
okay.
now it has been turned into a trust, so it is its own entity. And so once it's a trust, there is a fee schedule for that, but they cut that nearly in half.
Excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah, so,
Excellent.
which is pretty good.
Yeah,
So
very good. Yeah.
they've always been pretty good to us when it comes to that fee structure.
Good.
So
Thank you.
the 1 1/4 that's mentioned here that's the standard fee, and it's reduced from that.
Yep, 0.7.
7.
Any questions? Sorry. Oh. There, a motion to
Move to accept the Finance Committee's recommendation for the McDonald Trust Investment Strategy.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. We have one other financial matter which we didn't list separately, but we should mention, and that goes back to the Capital Campaign Committee. So that was mentioned also in the Finance Committee meeting minutes regarding the campaign advisor's request to increase her an increase in her fees by $6,000 per year for the last 2 years of the agreement. Currently, she is so they could say next year Rebecca would be scheduled to get 63,000. The following year, 66. She's asking for a 6,000 increase for each of those 2 years due to inflation, extended, basically increased hours devoted to us, and added expenses. The Finance Committee was satisfied that this was a reasonable approach. I think Leslie supports it as well.
As well as the Capital Campaign Committee
Yeah.
supports it as well.
So we'll
It's
see.
been really helpful, I think.
Yeah, she's been essential.
What's the reason for the, why?
A reason of greater inflation than expected and the amount of work that she's putting in for the campaign, other things that she's doing.
that she didn't anticipate?
I'm not sure whether she anticipated or not.
I know I know she's put in more hours than she was scheduled to, for sure.
So I say this is, to be transparent, she was scheduled to get an increase anyway next year and the following year. So this is on top of the scheduled increase, previously scheduled increase.
How much was, okay, so how much was she scheduled to get increase?
3,000 per year. So next year would have been 63 and the following year 66.
So it's instead of 3,000, it's 6,000. Or
It's actually
3,000, is it 9,000?
Well, from her current level, she's getting 60,000 this year. Was scheduled, the agreement was to get 63 next year. That would move up to 69. And the following year, the starting point would be 66, but with the addition, it would be 72.
We did have a discussion about this one too. And I think, I'll speak for myself, I think I was influenced by the capital campaign committee that had supported it. Because I haven't worked.
Oh, that was my next question.
I haven't worked with Rebecca directly. And it's a significant increase. We did discuss that increase vis-a-vis staff. And, staff increases, which basically are cost of living. So we did discuss it. And I think I was persuaded because the feeling seemed to be that she really has done an outstanding job and the committee supported it, the campaign committee. So I was going to support it as well. But, we did, as I say, we did have a discussion about it.
She's very critical to our successes. So the other thing about, she's a contract employee, so she pays her own taxes and all of those things that we don't pay as we normally do, benefits and other things that employees get as a employee at the library. She is not. She is a contract. So all of the taxes and everything she pays,
Insurance.
sure, all of that, she gets nothing from the library other than this. So that's a consideration.
And health insurance has really gone up quite a lot. So for somebody that's self-employed, it's huge.
I mean, I wholeheartedly support, an increase when she keeps us all very, very organized. I work very, very closely with her for the last 2.5 years. And
Well, I would move to accept that recommendation.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Eileen, second. All in favor? Looks like it's unanimous. Okay, great. Right. And then we want to have an update or a briefing about what's preparations for this special town meeting so far. And also you can mention the Q&A session on Wednesday night.
tomorrow, yes. We have a lot going on. We had a meeting with Kate Bachman, who is our communications strategist, who is working pro bono to help us. And so we've had 2 or 3 meetings. Our next big meeting, we have as Carl mentioned, an open Q&A session tomorrow. I sent you all an invite. So if you're able to attend, it isn't just for Woolwich residents, for anyone. And so it's going to be informal. We're going to do it in this room. Kate is going to moderate, and we're going to have as many department heads there as possible to answer questions. And so, we're really trying to be as transparent as possible and just, it's also give us a gauge for what kinds of questions people have. So we're looking forward to that. It's the first time we've done this since I've been here, and so we'll see how that goes and we can build on that. And then we're planning, so I have sent emails through Constant Contact to our cardholders, letting them know about the Q&A. We've posted on social media. I sent something to all the corporators, of course, trustees. And then we will start planning for the special meeting that's going to be on the 24th. So we have some scheduled, we're scheduling FAQs to go out. We're in communication with, especially with our Woolwich cardholders, letting them know we'll let them know, again, reminding them they've already been notified when that special meeting date is. We'll share we now have the wording for the warrant articles. And then we're also going to be prepping for the meeting itself to make sure that we have speakers in place as needed. We have lined up one, maybe two teams that will be speaking on the 24th, as well as we're working on others. So that, of course, I will be there, and we'll at the meeting on the 24th. So we're going to have sort of a plan for who will answer what types of questions should they arise at the special meeting. So those are all the things we're working on. If you can attend tomorrow night, that'd be great. So we don't know what the attendance is going to be. It's a hybrid, so we do know there are a couple people registered so far, at least as of yesterday on Zoom. And
will it be recorded?
It will be.
Yes. So
I'm going to attend the meeting on the 24th as well in March.
Has anybody, has the board all watched the video of the town meeting in Woolwich?
No.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's on the town's
On the town website. Oh, really?
maybe Tommy, if you could send out the link just
And it's a
directly to
3-hour meeting, so I can maybe I could
find what minute.
find what timestamp, but I think it would be very instructive for the whole board to see what it is that
I would
Woolwich
really- I would
residents are
really
saying
like to
about the
see that.
library.
Make sure you have a glass of wine or something with you when you left. So I have watched it once, but yeah, it's enlightening. So yeah, Tommy, if you could send out that link, that'd be great.
Thank you.
So yeah, so we have things planned, and again, it's just we need to get as Kate says, people's butts in the seats to the meeting on the 24th.
Turn out, just like in any
That's
decision.
Well, just anecdotally, when we were sitting at brackets in the lobby selling raffle tickets, and I don't know, John, you call this too, there were quite a few Woolwich people passing through, and many of them said,
Of course.
yes, I'm definitely going. Like they knew exactly what.
Okay.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Very positive. I don't think it's.
Don, you've said.
There's a contingent of students from Morris High School that will be leaving the end of June. They are outraged. We have a student book group and they passed around a sign-up sheet. We'll see how that goes because it's end of school, but with social media, they are trying to corral their peers. So
It's fantastic.
we encourage them to do that, and adults have a tendency to listen to the youth more than they do to other adults. So I just want to let you know there's a Morris contingent that is outraged and ready to speak.
Wonderful. Yes, so we do have, I know we have at least one Morris High School student and maybe a second that's going to be speaking specifically.
Very proud of them.
Yes, we're
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great.
We'll send town moderator.
It's had practice.
I guess.
Okay. Great. Anything else people want to add to? If not, then to make a motion, like to make, as you see, the next item on the agenda is to go into executive session. So do that. Is there?
So moved.
So
What's our
moved.
next meeting?
September.
September.
Our next meeting.
September.
I'll second the motion to enter executive.
Okay, let's go into executive session. The time is 6:00.